Typical, just like Oda, you know, to not only come back after a golden week, and then we are entering his schedule. You know, I almost suspect it is on purpose, because technically, golden week is not a break, it's a holiday. So he always must keep his word. 3 chapters and then 1 week break. But the fact that it goes so well every single time with his golden week break is honestly actually very frustrating. But hey, that's how ungrateful we people are. So, also another thing that is worth noting is he throws in a lot of Cerberus retcon in these situations. Things that we thought was just coping mechanisms may very well have in the end been side effects. Because after all, there was one very important question that was never answered before. And that was, why is the artificial devil fruits called smiles? It's worth noting that the chemical that is made to make them is SAD, which is sad. I don't know. But is this really a chapter I want to see when I'm going back from my golden week? No, not really. Did it tug the heartstring? Okay, I admit, a little. But you cannot kill off such an important character like that. He better not be dead. He better not. Well, I mean, if he is dead, then Oda really has made things. But I'm really begging him now. It's bad enough that a lot of reviewers have in the end given up on One Piece, because I understand why they have. But I'm also begging, begging, please! Kill off some antagonists this time! I'm tired of seeing their faces, even though sometimes living is the better punishment. The One Piece chapter 942, and yes, I did scream a little bit. This is the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer. First off, we see a flashback of Yasue when he was Yasue. Turns out Hakumai was a legal harbor in Wano, and so apparently they were one of the reasons why a lot of, you know, unexpected people did attend, because they had the strongest samurais. And yes, Yasue was a lot more serious in his old days, and he was also good friends with Oden. Way back when Oden, well, was a youngster, he came to him after he was, well, disowned by his father, and even said that the next father was going to be Yasue. But Yasue apparently said that wasn't what Kosuke Suyaki's true intentions were. It was merely tough love, and he should take it as a challenge. But even back then, Oden just didn't want to. He wanted to leave and set out to sea. And, I mean, he was adventurous and rebellious even then, but this seems to imply that Oden didn't immediately go to the illegal district of Kuri and reimagine it. Maybe he really was like a rebellious brat or something like that. You know, doing things. Oh yeah, and by the way, we do not see his face. I mean, Oden's. We're gonna wait for the flashback to that, huh? So, well, either. And it was Yasue who taught him that only when you become a competent samurai can you choose to be selfish. As the flashback ends, we see a lot of people mourn what Yasue's fate is going to be. But then suddenly Yasue says that it was a lie, that he was not the witch hour witch boy. Although given what this chapter is about, it may very well be that that's a lie too. He's pulling white lies in order to distract people, because it's also the timing of his crime was odd. It seems that he appeared at midnight. He actually should have been called the Rat Hour Boy, because you know the time. And Drake and Hawkins, who is also one of the guards, have actually is the only ones who notice that all the attention has been shifted from Komurasaki's funeral. And that almost sounds too coincidental. We all know that Komurasaki is alive after all, and Hiyori is Komurasaki. But is all of this a distraction in order to distract people that Komurasaki is, well, you're not dead? Either way, Yasue begins to talk as the people of Episode Town tries to save him, as well as Toko, who all run. But then Yasue begins to call Orochi a fool. And I have to say, this is one of the more satisfying part of this chapter. Finally! Someone who is actually calling out on that thing. Because he is actually pointing out, a lot of people are pointing out as well. And they are actually complaining about this. And now, turn down your volumes. 3, 2, 1. Why are you complaining about it? You're complaining that the Shogun Orochi may be weak, that he is pathetic, and I'm just saying, of course he is! He is meant to be weak and pathetic. Why else would he rely on a monster like Kaido? He is meant to be pathetic to his core! A character you cannot just wait to get killed! So don't complain that Orochi should be powerful, because he shouldn't be. He should be what he always is, pathetic. So either way, it's the fact that he tells them all to look at the flower capital and saying it was a grand sight to behold. But he also says that it was built on generation upon generation by the Kozuki family and the citizens. As Orochi realizes what he is talking about, suddenly he begins to switch his talk to Orochi, saying that you tainted all of this with your boundless pest and are nothing more than a pest. And then he actually begins to distract the people. Although with another lie. I mean, granted, however, this may be the one thing that is not a lie. However, I'm actually a bit worrying. Is everyone really gonna buy this? I mean, granted, the citizens of Wano are idiots, but still. And I mean, I would have bought this too as well, because I'm also an idiot, but still. He actually begins to say that the picture that's been circling around, he makes the lie that he created it in order to say it was a prank. Because 20 years after Oden's death, Orochi approached the 4 remaining daimyos, meaning that they are 4. No, let's see, there were 5 daimyos. Oden was one of them, meaning that there were 4 more, I guess. And it's also, I mean, I don't really know why, but I think we also even see Ashura Doji watching the... no, he's not watching the funeral. He's actually watching it from the screen, even though he has gotten to the town of the thing it says. Either way, Orochi told the audience that bow before me will you fight, and it was a ridiculous questions. As suddenly, also the Inuarashi and the rest have caught up to the things. As Yasue says that who would ever acknowledge you, Orochi, especially since he says that Orochi was indebted to Oden. Very likely meaning that Oden showed Orochi mercy somehow, and he thinks this. So he creates the lie that he spread this paper in order to distract people, thinking that they have been arrested for the crimes of approaching the shogun, and they are hating the shogun. But now he's saying that it's a prank in order for people to be released free. And he even points out the one thing is the fact that the only reason why Orochi won is because of Kaido. That's the only thing you have to realize. Take out Kaido and you take out everything. Take out Kaido and Wano will be free. Because Kaido is just that much of an unbeatable monster. He is the only reason why Orochi won. So, but he also mentions that the other daimyos somehow died, but he was the only one who survived. He told the people that, then he says suddenly that there is an even bigger coward than anticipated. Because in his moment of panic, he ordered the arrest of all those innocent people who bears the mark of the crescent mark, but simple or nothing popular design from long ago, which creates doubt even more of the things everything. And suddenly Orochi appears, ready to shoot him, because, well, He notes that Yasuo is only creating doubts of heart, so even in his dying breath, all Yasuo is doing is creating a seed of doubt into the people's heart. A lot of people have said that they don't like Shogun, and they all have said that he is a coward, but they can't oppose him because of Kaido, and because, well, he is the Shogun. But now he is creating the seed of doubt in their hearts, as he says the final words to the curse that binds your heart. Upon the man whose mind has swollen shut, a lifetime of Odin to fill your gut. So as he does his final laugh, he apologizes to everyone, the Kinemon, Momonosuke, and even to the many citizens. However, there's one thing I'm actually a bit concerned about. His lie of saying that this is a prank in order to, well, you know, free the rebels and stuff like that. It creates me a doubt. Doesn't that mean that those rebels that want to oppose Odin, aren't they gonna believe this one too? I mean, Kinemon says they are forever indebted. So, but he does say that with his dying breath he could create. His voice will no longer reach the Orochi or his soldiers, and suddenly he is, with tears in his eyes, but still with smiles. He screams to cover the children's eyes. The last daimyo that served Kozuki, the furious flighter from Ibiza town, will now make his way to the other world. Let us all sing together. With that, Orochi shoots Yasue, and every single Ebisu town begins to laugh as they cry, which angers Soros a lot, because they are crying but they are also laughing. But it actually turns out that there's an even bigger tragedy behind their laughter. As Soros said when he saw them, they were all unexpectedly cheerful when Yasue, as Tonoyasu, took Zoro to town, and it was implied at that time that it was a coping mechanism, that if they need to laugh because that's the only thing they can do in order to, well, forgive their misery. But now Hiyori is actually implying that it is not like this, and this is not something they're doing willingly. They are laughing, but they are also crying, meaning that their true emotions have been stolen. Because suddenly Hiyori says that the people of Ibisu town, no matter how sad they are, no matter how hard it is for them, they are unable to show emotions. They have been robbed of their ability to do anything but smile. All they can do is laugh. It's all because of Kaido and Orochi brought it to the country, the fruit known as smile. And yes, they are crying, they are sad, but the thing that makes this scene even more painful is that they are laughing and crying at the same time. They are sad, but they cannot show that fully. And Zoro was pretty pissed off by that, which shows that Zoro is not a man. I mean, he is a man that does have emotions himself. So, are you telling me there is actually a side effect to the smiles? I mean, I'm a bit confused by that, but the artificial devil fruits were called the smileys. But now it seems to imply that the people of Ebisu town perhaps were somehow surgically removed from the emotions. In fact, all of this sounds very similar to how the Vinsmoke's children are also removed from emotions. Either way, this was a sad chapter. I didn't want Yasue to die, but it seems to imply he died. Granted, it wasn't as great chapter as I thought it was, but it wasn't as bad chapter as I thought it was either. It was an information chapter, good for the analysts. But I don't know what to say with. But I have to admit, when everyone was laughing and crying at the same time, that was very heartbreaking actually. But alas, no One Piece chapter next week. So give me your thoughts if you have any.